Well, here it is, huh? Possibly our last time going down this route again. The dramatic walkway to the leadership of Meridian. We haven't been here for a while. Kinda hasn't come up for a while. No biggie, just saved your city and you. Being awesome. And also been fighting your enemies for you. Alone. I'm just amazing like that, I guess. You're welcome. Is your chair comfortable?
Aloy, what brings you to Meridian?
A threat. Helis commands a legion of fanatics called the Eclipse. They will attack soon from the west, with an army of ancient war machines. But that's not the worst of it. They'll bring a mind with them, god, demon, machine, whatever you want to call it. It's called Hades. And it doesn't want Meridian at all. It wants the Spire. And if it gets there, it will send out a call, waking more ancient machines, more than we could ever defeat. All will be lost. We can't let that happen.
I'm trying to understand, but my responsibility lies with Meridian.
Meridian isn't the target, Avad. You have to defend the Spire.
Perhaps the Vanguard, Your Radiance.
Yes. Send them to the Spire. Eren knows Aloy. He won't question it.
And have the city guard fortify the western ridge. There they can be seen to protect Meridian and the Elite, where the Spire rests.
Aloy, allow me to apologize for my behavior before. After everything that happened with Ursa, I was confused. If we're to fight together on the brink of life and death, I'd prefer to do so with your forgiveness.
Then you have it. As long as you don't confuse me with her again.
Even a king can learn his lesson. Good then. I'm glad that's behind us. Now, it will take time to prepare our defenses. Please, tell me what you know of our enemies. Everything.
I don't know about everything, but I'll tell you what I can.
Have you spoken to Blameless Murad?
Not yet, but I will.
He wishes to speak to you. Defensive preparations are his responsibility.
Ah. I take it they've already had that discussion about everything then. I guess the Faded Black was supposed to imply that. In the moment I thought that I was supposed to actually do that. So, now it's time to call in any favors we can as everything goes straight to hell.
Panic in the city will only create another enemy. And do keep me appraised of each new arrival.
This guy looks like he, in particular, would be perfectly at home in Avatar. Not the CG movie, the cartoon series.
Ah, Aloy. Preparations are underway on the ridge defenses and at the Spire. Word was sent to every corner of the Sundom. Our allies offered their steel. Some came for Meridian, others for shards. But many came for you, by name.
For me.
Don't be so humble.
The ridge will be the front line. That's where the city guard are holding?
Yes, bolstered by some of the irregulars I spoke of before. The Oseram cannons that thundered Meridian's walls in the Liberation will now defend us. You're welcome to tour the defenses.
And the Spire. Erend and the Vanguard are there?
Indeed. Clashing breastplates together and testing out their battle cries, I suppose. A number of the Nora have also arrived at the Spire. They have resisted the offer of a royal audience. Perhaps you could parley with them.
I will. I suppose all we can do is wait for the attack.
Exactly. It's not a feeling I cherish, but our spotters at Evening Sign report there's still no movement in the west. So, if there's more you need to do elsewhere, seize this time to do it. Otherwise, I've made the apartment of Olin Delverson available to you. You can sleep there, if sleep comes.
Move into the place that we broke into. Huh. We can review preparations at the ridge and the spire. And then resting will actually trigger progress, it looks like. Oh, we repaired the Sobek journal. All of them? All of them, huh? Nope, not all of them. How many of these are... Oh, that's a Gaia log. Holy crap, so many Sobek journals. Wait. 7/16/65. Oh, these broken ones are going to be here forever, taking up slots. And new ones are going to come in as they're listed as repaired. Weird. That's weird that they're permanently in there. Ah, means that I've gotten pretty much all the text data points, though. Apparently. Sobek journal. November 19th, 2064. Just wrapped inspection of Gaia Prime site. Construction is still well underway. Reactor installed. Plans for control room remind me of Starship bridges on those cheesy old SF vids. Living spaces for alphas already completed. Prefab modules. Fingers crossed we never have to seal ourselves in here. Not that Elysium sounds much better. Spent last week at the Bryce site, designating Zero Dawn project labs, drawing up protocols. The base we were repurposing was huge, plenty of room for workspaces and residence blocks. The work crews already sent up my office lab. I'm not a fan of the glass wall. Guess Murray's intention was to ensconce me as all-seeing presence. Opposite effect. Makes me feel watched, on display. Tempted to paint it over. Harris recorded his presentation yesterday, suitably bleak. Scheduled to record mine Friday. As soon as reception, lounge, holo theaters, and first residence block at ZD site are finished, we'll start processing the candidates being held outside Tucson. 27 already. Extraction teams prioritizing Pacific Rim and Aussie candidates are... how scared and confused they must be. Snatched off the street, carted across the world, held in cells. Here's hoping they understand once they see the big picture. Going to catch a few hours sleep here, then fly back to the Zero Dawn site. Harry's promised delivery of QB lattices by noon. Expect Mark 1 will take 2 weeks to machine, assemble, and test. I aim to launch Gaia at 0.6 T grounding. That's Turing? From there I'll spin her up past 1.0 Turing. However, wonder how long it'll take to break the 1.38 Turing record. MIE can go hang. Sleep. So that's when she's in the process of still making Gaia and working on that. How much later is this? Oh, next year. Almost a year later. July 16th, 2065. Last time I visited Prime was November of last year. Months since have been a blur. Flew out last night to oversee installation of the central armature and the master override. You're welcome, Ted. Which was completed by 0430. So I decided to grab a few hours of sleep here before heading back to Zero Dawn. Called Gaia before I bedded down, ostensibly to update her on the site plan. But the truth is, I missed her. I've developed a habit of speaking to her before I sleep. Seems to be the only thing that calms me these days. Woke to a message from Oswald. The Odyssey launched yesterday, so terrestrial life's chance of survival has doubled. Why then do I feel so uneasy? I just keep wondering what kind of world Far Zenith will create if the ship reaches its destination so many decades from now. And I worry about the Alpha build of Apollo. So much knowledge, so few restraints, and no failsafes. How will they avoid repeating our mistakes? What's to stop them from playing God? Forwarded the Odyssey message to the Alphas. Naoto replied in less than a minute, with a poem, of course. The Building of the Ship, by Longfellow. It's long, alright. I didn't read all of it, but it seems to be about launching a ship, rather than building one. This stanza, or couplet or whatever, leapt out at me. Humanity, with all its fears, with all its hopes and future years, is hanging breathless on thy fate. Yeah. Odyssey and Zero Dawn both. Speaking of which, I should get back to Zero Dawn. I guess I should stop by Naoto's lab and check on Demeter's progress too. If I can get out of there without a volume of Tennyson pressed into my hands, I'll count myself lucky. Till next time. We've got 2 more to go, right? It is, yeah, there is 4 of them. For some reason I thought there was 5, and I don't know why. I did not... Holy crap, by the way, there are so many text data points in the world. We've seen where some of those were hidden, though, and they were in the most disparate possible... By the way, I cannot find... So this has a permanent exclamation point next to it, saying that something is unread, and I cannot find it. Something on the screen somewhere... Oh, there it is, Jesus. That's invisible. That exclamation point is a terrible way of denoting which ones you have and haven't read yet. It should have at least been, like, make the entire icon yellow. Or some other color, because it turns yellow when I highlight it. Like, make it a color so that it stands out. A tiny, pale exclamation point on a white note is, like, invisible. That was hard to find. Just not effective. Just not, like, it just... This game has so much work put into it that kind of thing should just be more carefully designed. That kind of inventory, that kind of interface. So there's the ridge, and there's the spire, where shit is bound to go down. We're gonna fast travel downstairs to avoid having to take what is a lengthy elevator ride. Thankfully, the loading screens are significantly faster when you're traveling locally. When I first load this game every day, when I play it, I think it might take more, like 5+ minutes just to load the game, which is record-breaking, possibly, for this channel so far. It definitely seems to have longer load times than even, like, The Witcher does. Although it does seem to load a little faster than The Witcher when you go from place to place, once you're in the game. But Witcher on console was brutal with its load times, and I put up with that for 180 episodes or something like that.
No need to loiter around here.
So here we are on the ridge. Are you familiar faces?
An Osram tries to kill the Sun King.
You're the hunter from the Banuk Grove.
I remember you also, Nora. The machines shook free of their slumber after you arrived, raged, and fought.
Well, that wasn't my fault.
No, I'm thanking you. That night, I decided I would not go back to Banur. I would take my hunt into these lands. So many machines, even demons, spidery, skittering, without the blue light in them. Dead things that must be killed again.
Our enemies dug up an army of them.
An army. Yes, that's why I came. Good. I'll wait.
Right. So when we visited the place that had all the friendly machines in it, that was just seconds away from being obliterated by idiots. She was one of the locals that were hanging out in that location. These people have the most amazing headdresses too, because they look like something from Dynasty Warriors. It's amazing because they have straight up like a animalistic shaped skull on the top, but of course it's made of little machine parts. So it looks like all the people that we helped over the course of the game, if they're the type that can help us at least, are going to be showing up at these various locations to help out. Hello. Yeah, there's Teb.
Elita, I'm pleased to see you, but what are you doing here?
I'm helping prepare for the battle. If a Thrall were here, we would have fought together. I know it. So I'm doing everything I can. Digging battlements, collecting herbs. Anything that makes a difference. I can't take his place. Nothing can take his place. But I'm here for him, for both of us.
I understand what it was he saw in you.
He'll always be with me. Sun and shadow still meet for a moment, every dawn and dusk. I should give you this, to help in the battle. By the sun, I hope you don't need it.
Thank you, Elita. Be safe.
It was only a matter of time before an
3
Osram
antidotes.
tried to kill the
So some of them are giving me supplies that can help me, and then some of the more warrior type characters are showing up to actually help in the fight itself once it starts. Are you generics? Yep, you're generics.
We're letting the Osram take Derval.
Whoops.
They'll give him a rap on the knuckles and let him go.
Just trying to get to the crate real quick. Just a second, Tab. Tab. Being needy, Tab. There we go. Boom.
Aloy, I told you I'd be here.
You did, Teb. But have your wounds even had time to heal?
Honestly, if I fought, I'd probably come undone. But don't worry, I'll leave that to the other Nora at the spire. I brought supplies instead. These Karja have made me an honorary quartermaster, whatever that means.
It sounds impressive.
I could get used to it. We'll be setting up caches of arms and medicine under these banners. Look for them when the fighting starts. Aloy, when you went into the mountain, did the goddess tell you our chances?
She didn't need to. I know we can do this, Teb.
Maybe we can.
Some Oseram girl applied to the city guard the other day. Amazing.
I wonder what... Oh, that's a familiar face, too. Oh, wow, they're everywhere around here. Yeah. I wonder what percentage of these people are mandatory people that show up regardless because they're tied to the main story versus how many of them
Might need that.
show up specifically because you've done various side quests. Like, Teb might be here regardless. Or did I have to save his life at one point?
Nakoa, you came to fight.
How could I not? During the Red Raids, there was only one Karja butcher the Nora feared more than Zaid.
Helis.
I would stand against any army he leads, no matter how strong, for the Nora he terrorized, for myself, and for my father.
We'll stop him. You have my word.
Your word means a lot, especially now. Because of you, I hear the sacred land is opened. If we win, I can go home. It'll be good to see Jan again. I'm with you, Aloy. Until the end.
Geneva, they called you back to duty.
So, you're the one behind all this commotion? Who made Sun King Avad finally show his sword arm from behind those robes?
A king can be fierce and fair, Geneva. He's a good man.
A smart man, too. He had Murad offer all my prisoners a royal pardon if they'd fight for Meridian. The whole motley lot of them agreed. Didn't take much convincing.
With your kind of convincing, I don't doubt it.
Ha! This time I went easy on them. Those who commit the crime of attacking Meridian, they'll see less of my lenient side. May the sun blaze at your back, Aloy.
Who the hell's over here? Oop, someone with a big gun. Hi.
Huh. So you must be Aloy then. I thought there'd be more of you.
More of me.
Thicker, I suppose. More of a gear wheel, less of a ringlet. Don't get me wrong, you're very well struck.
Do all Oseram flirt at the most inopportune times?
Inopportune? Battle hasn't even started yet. Petra Forge woman. I hail from the Free Heap. I'll be heading back in the next dust storm. Murad asked me to check over the city arsenal first. Cannons have aged well, but I've cleared their throats so they can really roar.
Can I try one?
Everybody wants a turn. Have at it then.
Hello. What am I? Oh, I just walked across those coals. No big deal. Oh, and she just dropped it. That was weird. I didn't press anything. Oh, I can't take it out of here is why. Yep. Boom. Like a cluster bomb. Okay. Well, that's a trip. And then you auto drop it? Yep, you can't take it out. Wow. By the way, the way she drops it, like... you know that they must have tested this specifically, like, we can't let them take it out. So, like, not only does she drop it, but she doesn't even drop it by her feet, because that would risk it rolling out, and then somehow breaking the bounding box of where it's allowed to be. They yank it all the way back to the bed of coals in the middle. Like, physics be damned. You're like, you're not taking this out of here, damn it. Not time. I think that's everyone here. Next, we want to make it all the way up to the spire, which I believe I've been to before. The estate. Yeah, the estate is under here. How does one climb to the top exactly? Guess I'll be finding out.
Mark my words.
I feel like this is one of those locations that I climbed to the top of before, but like very poorly. Like I was like totally wrong on what the right way was. Made a fool of myself. Who would think that the ending of this game seems to be overlooking specifically the estate where one of the dumber side quests happens. That was, God, idiot suicide was like such a turning point for me on the side quest quality of writing. That was amazing. So that goes to the estate. So over here must be some sort of way up to the actual spire. Probably climbed up there before. Ah, yeah, there's probably a back and forth road right here. Yep. I should be surprised about how she's able to sprint up these steps so easily, but that surprise is broken forever for me. After she sprinted up that icy slope that was like a 50-degree angle, I'm like, how are you doing this? This is almost child's play now. Wow. Huh. No one's really maintaining these steps, huh? You got plants growing, like entire bushes are growing over the steps? You'd think you just want those out of the way. There's enough steps here to assume that someone values this place. Am I gonna have to fight my way up these steps later when it's covered in monsters? I get the feeling that me sleeping back at the capital is going to lead to the attack happening while I'm there, and then having to fight all the way out here from there, as opposed to just staying here, where I would then not get in trouble. Like, this is the place we got to defend. Might as well just start here. Looks like they're more scattered this time. Wow. Did not think that would be a grapple point of all things. Oh. Door is closed, nothing here. Can't just walk through that? Weird how the wall just ends there, huh? Huh.
It rises taller than the highest tree.
These cards are in their frilled armor look like turkeys.
But there are so many. And now we are so few.
They are not our foe. Not this time.
Quiet now. She comes.
The Anointed.
War Chief Sona. War Chief, you seem uncomfortable.
The Nora do not belong here. I do not belong here. I will fight the metal devil that threatens us all, but my place is in the sacred land. The wrongness here jags at me like an arrowhead.
I'm sorry to put you through this.
Do not be sorry. This will be ended. My spear, my word.
I think that was one of the more amusing twists this game pulls on you, is that they show you these tribal cavemen style characters at the beginning, the Nora, and just you're like, oh, this is how this world works, huh? And then your proving gets attacked by somebody with a machine gun, and then you go outside and you're like, oh, everyone else is like way further ahead in like ages, basically, compared to everyone else. Can I talk to anyone else here? Or is it just Sona? No conversations with the sun or anything? So yeah, these guys are almost certainly here just because I went and did their side quest with them. Because I think she might have died otherwise. Seems like their group would have run into trouble. Yeah, that was a fun twist though, the escalation, because it all felt like it was all going to be cavemen all day, and then suddenly, excuse me? Kingdoms? And like forged armor? And siege weapons, although admittedly they didn't make most of those ones.
Greetings, Aloy. You don't need to bow. The Anointed doesn't like it.
She doesn't much like being called Anointed, either. It means a lot to have you here, Varl.
I gave my word.
So, Meridian, what do you think?
I've seen many new things since I first met you. I should thank you.
Varl, what's wrong?
You really want to know? All right. I'm in a foreign land, a tainted land, defending a faithless city that looks like nothing I've seen. From something I can't imagine. And you, After all that's happened, all you've done, I feel like I should drop to my knees and worship you, but I know you don't want that.
Boy, things are pretty tough for you, huh? Thanks for telling the other Nora not to bow. It's the last thing I need.
Don't be too hard on them. They only joined this fight because the Anointed bid it so.
Is that why you came?
No. I would have come just to see you one more time. And we must fight a metal devil, because the goddess says. Or because you say.
I think the goddess and I are in agreement. We're both glad you're here.
So am I.
I got really mixed up. I thought that was Varl. Who's this? Let's take a closer look at you. Oh no, you're you're a completely different person. Yeah. I didn't question it on the first glance, and just like, yeah, it's probably... I just assumed Varl would be next to her because they're family, but they're in separate spots. Probably because having them interact would be weird, because what if one of them was here but the other one wasn't? Assuming this has anywhere near as much variability as I think it does. Anyone back here? Yes, actually. Almost missed you.
O great sun, how does your gaze fall? In approval or approach? Turn our heads with your daily pilgrimage, from the east where we came, to the west where only you may go. You grant cold metal the warmth of life, and let the machines bask in your great shining. For you, the shadows shrink and part and gather again only at your allowance without form. Your eyes, the day, your ears, the priests.
Another day.
Your lips, the radiant sun king. As there was before and will be again, your light.
Naman, I should have known if there was going to be a sun priest here, it would be you.
And if the Sun King had allowed outlanders to set foot upon the Alight, this Aloy could only be you. I wish the circumstances were different, or that the Psalms of the Sun could give you peace of mind. But if you'll allow me one pontification...
Go ahead.
You've shown strength and compassion. Our enemies only a desperate hate. Both sides claim the blessing of the sun, but the sun that I pray to, it would bestow it upon yours.
You know, Naman, I'm already under some pretty heavy divine pressure, but I'll try to live up to it.
The tribes united against Shadow. How could that not be the sun's will?
Is there anything on this wall? Not really, no. You're just praying to a wall. Oh, it's got a... there's a shape to it. Okay, it is sculpted. But maybe the triangle has a specific value. Oh, it's at the base of the spire. I guess that would explain a lot, actually. There's Varl. You can actually tell they stand out as individuals that glow on the scanner this errand. Yeah, here's how I make sure I don't miss anyone in this larger, more difficult to parse area. You know there's going to be a big battle happening right there, in that big open clearing. It's inevitable. It looks like a ritualistic, like, important location, but most notably it's covered in chest-high walls that you can hide behind when you fight people.
So who are these guys?
They call themselves the Eclipse.
What does that even mean?
It's when the moon gets in front of the sun, idiot.
Is that supposed to sound scary or something?
I don't know. They used to be Karja, and Karja are always yammering about sun and shade.
Well, if they used to be Karja, how tough can they be?
Yeah, they're best guys dressed like birds. We'll rip their little feathers off.
And let's not get cocky, boys. Aloy. So here we are again, gearing up for a fight. Only this time it sounds like the bad guys have a lot more firepower. What are we up against, really?
I'm not sure. But there's gonna be a lot of them, and they'll have machines. And if they get past us, it's not just Meridian that will fall. The rest of the world will go with it.
Well, that's... big. It sounds like our kind of fight. Right, guys? Well, where do they put the vanguard?
At the front of the line!
And why?
Steel before iron!
And what are we gonna do?
Hit him like a hammer till he can't hit back!
Damn right! You hear that? Nobody's getting past the Vanguard. We're here for Meridian. And we're here for you.
Thank you, Erend. Ursa would be proud.
Well, only if we win.
Oh, well, that puts a damper on things. Very, very possible we don't win. No big deal, just fighting an entire army. And as is often the case, we have trouble probably even convincing the majority of people that this is a real threat. So we get just like a vanguard as opposed to like their army. How many did we just get? All of them? Oh, wrong page. We did get all of them. Subject journal. So what's the time gap here? 3 months this time, so it's shorter. October 31st, 2065. Or is it 2165? I always forget what decade or century these are in. The future, for us, at the very least. It's Halloween. Oh, that's even what the first line of the dialogue is. Halloween. Travis came by trick-or-treating, dressed up like me. Should have seen that coming. I gave him a half-eaten packet of dandy wafers as a treat and kicked him out. But not before he invited me to some kind of Italian horror extravaganza he organized for ZD staff. Seriously. As though there isn't enough horror in the world already. Anyway, I was already scheduled to fly out here to G Prime for final inspections with Harris and the President's delegation. Ted was here too, and he was not looking good. Kept fidgeting and couldn't seem to look me in the face without blinking. I was relieved when he boarded his vert and flew back to Tabes. Ugh. Though I guess I shouldn't complain. If he wants to build himself a deluxe shelter to ride out the apocalypse, let him. Keeps him out of Elysium and away from me. Harris stuck around long enough to give me a detailed briefing on the strategic situation. Basically, we've entered the terminal phase, as though the color of the sky was, when I was flying over here, wasn't clue enough. Another 2 or 3 weeks, and the atmosphere won't be breathable. The last vestiges of European and West African civ brigades are trapped with their backs against the Atlantic. The swarm that scuttles across Antarctica is crossing the Straits of Magellan, about to start its death crawl up South America towards the Amazon. All the work we did to reconstitute the rainforest, and it comes to this. And advanced elements of the Pacific swarms are already skirmishing with units of the Kalmar seawall. The noose is tightening. Projections show we can still finish in time, but the margin of error is plus or minus 10 days, not a good spread. If the plague breaks through ahead of schedule, well, it just can't. I will not let that happen. Enough writing. I need to get back to Zero Dawn. We're going by small intervals now. So now we're at about 2.5 months. January 15th, 2066. Such a close thing. It's been, what, 43 hours since Harris warned me? Said collapse of the eastern line was imminent. Swarms launching some kind of pincer maneuver versus the Wichita salient. 5 or 6 days more, and I think Gaia could have launched without our help. I really do. We had to scramble. ZD became a madhouse, absolute bedlam. Every team rushing to stabilize code and lock it down as Gammas got evacuated, then Betas. Once Gaia was on her way, I gathered the Alphas together to give them the bad news. Felt like I was going to throw up. But they already knew, of course. They knew the work wasn't really finished. Close, but not quite there. Still tests to run, kinks to smooth, work to do, so they accepted it. No Elysium for us. We'll spend the rest of our lives here, testing and polishing each subordinate function to perfection. Guess that's what you get when you recruit a bunch of oppressive perfectionalists. Managed not to cry until I got back to my office. So here we are, setting up Gaia Prime. And yeah, such a close thing. Makes me feel nauseated all over again when I contemplate how the fate of life could hinge on coincidence. If I'd never proposed the Lightkeeper Protocol, there never would have been living spaces constructed here. If I'd abandoned the protocol sooner, the necessary life support systems would never have been installed. If. At least we won't have to endure the creepiness of raising and training clones of ourselves. The genetic material has never processed out of the cradle sites, so it's not even possible. For which I'm glad. I really, really wouldn't want to spend time around a young Travis Tate raised by Travis Tate. No, it'll be up to us to perfect Gaia, one generation only. Update. That was General Harris. The salient has collapsed. USRC expects to be overrun in 2 days, which gives us 72 hours at best to lock down and seal up. Buried alive, for life's sake. I'll go tell the others. There we go. So, that's what was going on with the Alphas, why they were all in a room together in one sort of confined area where there was no implication of other people being around, is that when it came down to the final moments, they literally couldn't leave in time. They got jammed into one location, and they had to die there together, and they were going to live out the rest of their lives after they finished perfecting everything. But then Ted killed them all. Killed them all remotely from his little private shelter, that piece of shit. What a great guy. He hangs out in his little private shelter, and then using the controls that he apparently installed, he wipes out all life in the location of the Alphas. No big deal, just all of the main people who made this entire thing possible. He thought he knew better. The guy who ended the world thought he knew better. Great. Great. And, Elizabeth Sobek didn't live to see that because she sacrificed herself before it could ever happen.